All right, so welcome to this guide about the protein. All you need to know about the protein, why, how much, and how you're going to include it in your diet. And when I say diet, you know very well that that's not any restrictions, but really the food you ingest, you take on a daily basis. So I know you've heard about the protein so much. It's almost become a buzzword nowadays. But in a good way. Like protein is a really important macronutrient when it comes to your food intake. Now, we've got the main roles of the macronutrients in our other resources, but we talk a lot in Flourish Coaching about the muscles and muscle mass. And we try to gain as much muscle mass as possible. And there are several reasons for it. But why do I mention muscles? So protein is a building block of tissues, and muscle is a tissue. So if we want to preserve and build muscle mass, we do require an adequate protein intake. Now, why muscle mass is important? We know that after age of 30, the muscle mass starts to decline by each year. So it can vary anywhere between 6 to 10%, okay, depending on the individual. So there's several factors which we will need to take into an account. So obviously resistance and strength training, that's what you're actually doing with me. So thank you for your trust. Is crucial for preserving and building muscle mass. But protein is really, really crucial when it comes to muscle mass, because it not only builds, but also repairs the muscle tissues, which kind of gets broken down or I don't want to use the word damage, but I think that's kind of the best analogy to use, because you put your muscle mass, you put your muscles through stress when you train. So, and they need to repair, and the protein can do the job there. So really, really important. But it's not only your muscles, but you can find protein everywhere in every single tissue of your body, apart your bile and a urine. So your nails, your hair, your skin, you really find protein everywhere. So, and there is a big correlation between, aging and the muscle mass. So also like the quality of the skin you have will be quite determined by the amount of a muscle mass you carry. So it's, yeah. And I know you know, because you are on a coaching program with me, I just rave about the muscles. But as you also know, you won't become an Arnold overnight. So it's quite difficult for a woman based on our hormonal profile. Okay, so and that brings me on to another role of protein. So protein supports homeostasis. You may have come across the word homeostasis. So it is a balance. So it's being in equation. So there is serenity, there is a balance, so a homeostasis. So protein is a crucial element of your endocrine system because it is building block of the hormones, but it also helps to release. So it kind of interacts with certain hormones as well. And now as a woman, we go beyond your reproductive system, or your cycle. So your endocrine system goes beyond estrogen and progesterone, which are two main hormones when it comes to your cycle, which is so crucial for a woman. But your hunger hormones, your satiety hormones, So your ghrelin, your GLP-1, which you may have had nowadays about a lot. All of these hormones are regulated by protein as well. So your sleep, so melatonin, stress hormone, so the cortisol, growth hormone. So again, it's a really crucial element for your hormones and just kind of regulating the endocrine system. So you may function as efficiently and optimally as you can. Okay. The other point of protein, as you can see, is the satiety. So protein can keep you fuller for longer, and there are several reasons for that. Okay. Firstly, protein is made up of some chains, and we call these chains amino acids. Now, it takes a longer to digest the protein. So by the time, your body will take a longer time to break the chicken or egg, yogurt, whatever you eat. So it takes time to break it down to the compound, which can be actually absorbed by your small intestine. Okay. But the other reason why we say the protein keeps you fuller for longer is those hormones I mentioned before. So protein really interacts with ghrelin, which is a hunger hormone. So it keeps the ghrelin in check. So it keeps it lower. As well as GLP-1, which is again satiety hormone. So it's very much related with your carbohydrates as well. So there's a big loop, which we will mention just in a second, because we've got some point about the blood sugar as well. So again, these are the reasons why protein helps you to feel satiety for a longer period of time. Okay, so again, we will be mentioning some goals when it comes to body composition in a second. Again, protein is very handy. It's really, really helpful in achieving whatever goal really you have. Now, how does it help to stabilize your blood sugar? So I'm sure you have come across the word either glucose or blood sugar. So this is associated with your sugars, with the carbohydrate you eat. So you have pasta or porridge, fruit, chocolate, whatever it is. So carbohydrates can be broken down much faster because already your saliva in your mouth starts to break down these sugars. So they get to broken down fairly fast. Now, obviously, depending on what type of carbohydrates we're talking about, but definitely faster than protein, okay? And they react, so there is a reaction onto your blood sugar, okay? So another hormone, insulin, gets secreted from your pancreas and kind of tries to bring the blood sugar level down every single time you consume carbohydrate. Now, we want to avoid the frequency and the rate of those spikes. And protein is a brilliant friend with carbohydrates. Because it can react with a certain hormones, and it can slow down the digestion of your carbohydrates. Hence, it can help to stabilize your blood sugar level as well. So if you have an oat, for example, in the morning, if you coat it with yogurt, that breakdown will slow down. Hence, the blood sugar spike will be much slower, and you have more steady source of energy as well. So it's really crucial we get our carbohydrates eaten with protein as well. There are some exceptions. And again, like if you have a bowl of pasta, there's nothing wrong, okay? We are rather thinking about the frequency and the quantity here as well when it comes to like carbohydrates and etc. Okay? But yeah, so another role of protein helps to stabilize the blood sugar, okay? Now, you ask, how much do I really need to eat and how do I find that out? So it is fairly simple. So I go with 1.6 or 1.5, but usually 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per body weight. Okay, so I do have an example there. So if you weigh 70 kilos, so the 70 times 1.6, which will be 112 grams, or 154 if we take into consideration 2.2 grams per body weight. Now, this can be manipulated throughout the week, and training can be taken into consideration. But regardless, the training, like 1.5, 1.6 grams of protein per kilo or per kilogram of body weight is really crucial when we are on our health and fitness journey, but also when we think about the longevity, okay? There are many studies being done now that there is a massive correlation, big correlation between the amount of muscle mass you have and the brain functioning as well. So there is a lot of research, a lot of studies, a lot of proof that the muscle mass, which can be helped, which we can help to maintain and preserve by ingestion of protein as well as resistant training. So that's absolutely crucial. You may somewhere see like 0.6 or 1 gram per kilo of body weight, but that's really a bare minimum. So we want to bring this up. Now, we already mentioned something about the body composition earlier on in this guide. Now, whatever your goal is, either you want to tone up, which we know now that the tone up, it really means that we want to increase the muscle mass and then reduce the body fat. Okay. Now I'm gonna kind of wrap it all together. Okay. Now we mentioned the protein helps with the muscle mass. Okay. So that's not a news for us anymore. But think about the protein, think about the muscle as an active tissue. Okay. So the muscle contracts, okay, every single time. So I move with my arms a lot, okay. Every single time you move, the muscle contracts, hence exerts the energy. So it requires energy, okay. But as well as when you train, when you put the muscle through the load, through the stress, I'm going to again refer to it as it gets broken down and it needs to get repaired. Okay, so again, a lot of action behind the scene go about to repair the muscle tissue. So again, it requires more energy. So your body, your metabolism will work harder. And we already mentioned about the hunger as well, okay? So that's something what we discussed earlier on. Now, again, more muscle mass you have, more your body works. So how do your body work? So it's easier then to reduce the body fat as well. So that ratio between lean mass and fat tissue gets reduced. So more muscle mass and less fat we have. And that's what you really call when we women refer to as like, oh, I want to tone up. So this is really what happens, okay? So you increase the muscle mass and reduce a fat tissue. And protein is really, really helpful with it. So without making this super, super hard, think about what you can add, okay? So don't think what you can take away now, but think what you can add to your diet, how you can make it easy. And again, you know very well that we are not after perfection, okay? We are after progress. Obviously, very much depending at where you currently are at, we may discuss various ways how you can add protein into your diet. Again, depending on your goal, but depending also on your current status. The thing about the breakfast, so it's really crucial that you get protein for breakfast as well. Now, you want to avoid eating carbohydrates on its own for breakfast because there is a big sugar level spike, and this can carry on throughout the day as well, okay? You may find that if you have something very carby as a first thing in the morning, then you want more, okay? So it's really important that whenever you're breaking that fast, that breakfast, you have a really rich portion of protein, okay? Think about the eggs. Think about yogurt, protein powder, skyr, what is the word? The cottage cheese, anything and everything, right? I am really not against to have a leftovers for breakfast, okay? Whatever you had for dinner, like chicken and rice or, well, you know, whatever, tortilla wrap with tuna or something, have it for breakfast. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's really nothing wrong with that. So a bit more discussion behind that. But that's onto another video. Okay. Even if you like porridge, I love porridge. My favorite food till today over the weekend is porridge, eggs, and protein powder mixed together. I've got a recipe in my booklet as well, so do check it out. It works the treat, and you've got such a rich portion of protein, and then you've got your porridge as well. So really, really, really good. Okay, lunch. Keep it simple. I know some of you may have lunch at work, but sometimes it's not ideal. Have a can of tuna, sardines, mackerels, or whatever it is. Ideally, you have it with some salad, whatever it is. It's not overcomplicated, but definitely get protein in it. So again, any lean meat, but definitely like kind of tuna, some salmon, or chicken. So anything super easy, and you can cook in batches, or you can cook in a bulk. Take it in a little box with you, and you are equipped. Okay. Dinner can be the same, or can be similar. Any mincemeat or beef, fish. You can have again eggs. So there is a massive variety. Okay, massive variety. And again, keep it simple. You can cook something for 3 to 4 days. Obviously, if you've got family, that may be a little bit more difficult. But you can cook actually for yourself, and if you need to. Whip up something for your family, so because your food is already ready anyway, then you may have a little bit more time to actually prepare something else for your family as well. If you do find this challenging, please reach out and we can go through this together, okay? But honestly, simple as possible. So if you find this a little bit more demanding and challenging, just reach out and I can give you a super simple tips. And again, don't forget about plant-based proteins as well. So things like chickpeas, lentils, all the pulses, quinoa, buckwheat, and what's incredible about these plant-based proteins is that they have so much fiber as well. And I know we talk about protein now, but fiber is again super important when it comes to your digestion and your gut health as well. Okay, because we can have such a good diet, but if our digestive system doesn't work properly, then that will be a little bit harder. So that is absolutely incredible. And if you combine actually those plant-based proteins, you can get a full profile of protein. So we mentioned some amino acids at the beginning. They are building blocks of the protein. So we have some amino acids which are essential, and we can't, your body can't produce it on its own. So hence we require this from the food. Animal-based proteins such as meat, poultry, eggs, whatever, they contain all essential amino acids. Plant-based proteins, they contain some, not all. But if you combine plant-based proteins, so for example, you've got tofu with some veggies and some pulses, and let's say quinoa, you actually can get a full profile of amino acids as well. So you don't have to neglect plant-based options as well. So, and again, they are full of fiber. And also smoothies. I absolutely love smoothies because they are filling, they are simple, quick, and they get you a good vitamins and minerals, as well as protein, because I love to add protein powder into my smoothies as well. Remember to base your smoothies on veggies. So have a good handful of spinach, etc. Have a fruit as well. I'm not saying no to it, but just remember that fruit can be quite high in the sugar. So it just depends on the quantity there as well. So that's why I like to base the smoothies on veggies, like leafy greens, such as spinach or kale, or it can be cucumber as well. And then adding some fruit flavor and definitely protein powder. So these are super quick and easy. And if you find yourself to snack, so again, boiled eggs, absolutely love them. You can have the protein shake as well. Protein bars, I would treat protein bars as a treat. I wouldn't have it. I would say no to protein bars every single day because they are highly processed and there's a lot of things our body doesn't really require. But as a treat, I love protein bars. Absolutely love protein bars, but don't have it as a part of your staple diet. Okay, rather treat it as a treat. Okay, well, and last but not least, tracking. Why tracking is important, especially at the beginning of your journey. So with tracking, you learn about how much of protein you eat each meal, as well as throughout the whole day. And then you also learn like the portion, and you don't have to track. So tracking is set for a certain period of time, okay? You are not meant to track for the rest of the life. But at the beginning, it's a really incredible tool because, as I mentioned before, it can really help you to understand how much protein you eat with each meal and what's the total per day. And you will so much easier understand the portions of the protein as well. But portions of food in general, especially those of you who will be wanting to lean out, so to reduce the body fat, like tracking will be quite important because we will need to understand how many calories you intake every single day, and then manipulate it from there. So tracking is super crucial, at least for some period, so a certain period of time. And I made your life easy, and you have your tracking built in a Flourish app. So it's all there for you. Okay, so this is all about the protein, the importance of the protein, how much, and how you can include protein in your diet. As always, if you've got any questions, reach out. And I'm looking forward to hearing how your protein intake is going to go. Thank you.